Welcome to Crown Ruler Entertainment HQ. Today we're going to talk about how to shoot a time lapse on the GoPro Hero 5 and 6. Now, there are three major factors to consider and to remember and to apply in order to shoot the perfect time lapse. Number 1, settings. Number 2, equipment. And number 3, location. Let's start with number 1, settings. So adjust your settings accordingly based on what you're trying to shoot with the time lapse, and in that case adjust your time interval setting. That's the most important part of these. Adjust your time intervals right here in the middle. And if you don't know what to use, let me explain it to you right now. For the half-second interval, you'd use this if you're shooting an up-close shot time-lapse of anything. Up close, like let's say you go outside, you find a bunch of ants, you just want to shoot a time-lapse of it. This interval is perfect for that. We move on ahead to the 1-second interval. This is perfect for shooting traffic shots. You set up your GoPro on the side of the street or in the middle of the road. It's good for shooting cars as they come and go. And with the 2-second interval, this is good for shooting clouds that are passing right through the sky. 5 and 10-second intervals are also good, but 2 seconds is good when there's not that much clouds in the sky, but you still want to capture the movement of it. It'll take less time to capture more seconds of footage of time lapse. So if there's less clouds in the sky, use the 2-second interval time setting. Moving on to the 5-second interval, this is good for sunset and sunrise time lapses. I've recorded a lot of my time lapses using this setting, and just to give you a rough estimate, leaving your camera recording this time lapse for about 30 to 35 minutes will get you about 10 seconds of time lapse footage. So it's a great way to condense 35 minutes of real time onto 10 seconds of time lapse footage. We move on to 10-second intervals, and this one is good for clouds once again, but this time it's good for when there's a lot of clouds in the sky. This is a time lapse of moving clouds at a 10-second interval. You know, those cotton candy clouds, this interval setting is perfect for it. And as the intervals get bigger, we move on to 30 seconds. This one is perfect for time transition, meaning you start recording a time lapse in the afternoon and you end it during the night. And while you're doing that, it's also good for capturing shadows of an object. As the sun moves, the shadow will move along with it. You know, perfect for transition scenes, and that's what the 30-second interval is good for. Then we move ahead to the 60-second interval. This one is for long-term time lapses, meaning you want to shoot a time lapse of a flower blooming. This one's perfect for it. You want to shoot a time lapse of candle wax burning and descending. This interval is perfect for it. And that's pretty much with the interval settings. For the resolution, you can go 1080 or 4K. It really depends on you or what kind of video you want to shoot. I personally use 1080 because all my videos are 1080. And for field of view setting, I use linear. I shoot most of my time lapses in linear, but sometimes I go narrow depending on the sky, but it really depends on what you want to shoot. So field of view is really up to you. Now that you know the interval settings, let's go ahead to number 2. Number 2 is equipment. When you're shooting a time lapse, make sure you have a good tripod. Sorry, you can't really see it, but make sure you have a good tripod. Make sure you have a tripod, a very secure one, and a very stable one, a very sturdy one, so that your time lapse looks professional. So that your camera won't move, your camera will stay still, and that your time lapse will be good looking. I have many tripods, but one I like to use is this Joby Gorilla Pod, and I attach it to a metal GoPro casing. We could just go in right there. And the reason why I like this is because I can really secure it, and I could go through any angle and point it to however I like, and there's a leveler for me to level out the camera. So make sure you get a good tripod so the camera doesn't move. And that's it for equipment. Let's move on to number 3. So number 3 will be location. For now, we're just gonna stay indoors and set up the GoPro to shoot outside. The important thing about location is that you just gotta be creative in what you want to shoot. Pick your own spot, pick your own angle, you know, be creative with what you're trying to portray. You have to know what kind of purpose the time lapse will be serving for whatever video you're making. So you gotta be creative and you gotta be critical with the purpose of the time lapse. Is it a transition scene between scenes? You know, something like that. You just gotta know. And for location, really just be creative with it. Do whatever you want with it. I'm gonna shoot a time lapse of the clouds outside my window. pretty much it for shooting time lapses with the GoPro Hero 5 and 6. I hope you found this video very helpful, at least entertaining or whatnot. If you have any questions about shooting time lapses or have any tips and tricks you want to know, comment down below, or anything you want to share, comment down below. That will be all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave a thumbs up if you liked this video, subscribe if you haven't already. That's it for today. I'll see you guys tomorrow.